Okay, so it's been a long time, I don't know how long, since I did any updates about the type of online personalities that I call the Shelby type. Now, Shelby, as far as I know, can be a he, she, or they. I don't know anybody named Shelby, online or not. But, so I didn't use that name. Because it can be don't mean boys, don't mean girls. It can be, this is how I see them, is they're don't mean boys, they don't mean girls. They're just mean adults. And they use, quite often they're hypocrites. And they're bullies. They will try to, they're gossips. They will point the person's name out, whether it's their full name or it's their first name or their screen name, or all, so they point the finger at the person so everybody knows who is that person. I never do that. I never do. No. But I'm not an adult mean girl. What I point out is them. Now, these are people, what I have seen is that they phrase it, they frame it in a way that, so all others watching it who are gullible will see, oh yeah, they're doing a good job. They're doing a good service of outing these people for their bad, how bad these other people are, how evil they are. So they'll frame it this way, or just say they're giving a review, or they're giving, they try to elevate it to some other level than what it really is. I mean, it begs a question. One of the parts of it is when, somebody has an issue with somebody. They say, well, I don't like, by the way, I'm not a fan of any of them. And the people that they are reviewing, I'm doing air quotes, as they call it. I'm not a fan of any of them. So, I'm not on anybody's side. I'm not saying that I think what they're saying about that person is wrong, even. I'm not saying that. Okay? Because I'm not a fan of any of them. But anyway, they, now I don't know how long ago I missed a point here. Okay, I walked away for a bit. So where was I? But often I see these people is they're really mean. They're really rude. And in my lifetime, in my experience, plus I was a career student in psychology and sociology over 20 years. And my degrees are in both. Anyway, what I see them as is rather histrionic. I'm not saying the disorder. I'm not saying that they have the disorder. I'm not diagnosing them. But their behaviors, come on, look at them, fall under it. Histrionic. Okay. And quite often, not always though. Sometimes they're more like under, they don't really have a classification this way, but like a psychopath or sociopath. But overall, I just call them mean girls. Don't mean girls. I don't mean boys. Like I said, they're just evil. And they don't care who they hurt. They don't care as long as they're getting the attention they want. And like I said, they're hypocrites. So, anyway, the ones that I had talked about, like I said, I call them the Shelby type. And I don't know how long ago it was. I really cannot remember because this past summer, I was in and out, May and June. 3 times I was in the ER, and stuff was leading up to it. So I think it was before then. And when I started this, I could look it up, I guess. But about the Shelby type. And these women were just, like I said, attacking this. They did a variety, but mainly one woman. Like I said, was not a fan of her either. I didn't like the things she was doing either. But they just kept going, and like I said, it begs the question of when does it go past, even if you're just saying you're reviewing that person or you're pointing out their bad behavior, when does it, and like I said, they point out the person's name. That's a difference, that's a big difference. Okay. When does it go past being called review and go into it being called bullying. Okay? Bullying. Yeah. I mean, some of these, they've been doing them for years now. Years. Okay? I mean, really let that sink in. Somebody has been picking on another person for years. But they also have other ones here and there, but they like this one to pick on. Now, the two of them, I actually at first wondered if they were the same person, same woman. Because their voices and their attitudes and what they focused on, it was like they were repeating. I mean, like it was just a repeat of the same thing. And their, like I said, their accent and the mistakes they made were very similar. They made mistakes. And one of the things they picked fun on, this woman that they both attacked verbally, you know, however you want to do it, however you want to call it, attacked verbally. They just wouldn't let up. Maybe strike attacked, but I don't know. They're bullying. They really didn't like. They just kept. Oh, I'm going to use their term. Reviewed. Okay, her work, her videos. Well, they made fun of her for, you know, like she made mistakes in English. I can tell you, I am the most educated person I know, and I know a lot of PhDs, people who really were into it. I am the most educated that I know. And I can screw up the English language, and it's my first language, like you wouldn't believe. And I'm well aware of it. I do not ever put out there that I am perfect, especially in English. Okay? I do not. Now, I would write papers, and my professors would hold them up and say, this is how you write a paper. Not just from the way I did it, but the words I use. Yes, I know them, but I don't always use them. And I can make simple mistakes because, again, I am human. Like I could care less, and I couldn't care less. I have no idea where I picked up careless, where I heard it, and then it just stuck. You know, I remember a class I took many years ago. It was in sociology, and the professor was talking about how we, you know, say things that we really don't think about what we're saying. And he was talking about anybody. He wasn't talking about just because you're from the South kind of thing, like some people do. You know, those, yeah. It says more about them than it does about us. So, anyway, like he said, you know, how often do we really think and picture what the words that we're speaking? Like, don't have a cow. You know, he said that one from Bart Simpson or something. And the other one was when we say, even older, is when we say, you dirty heifer. Do you really think about it? You know, really. Do you really think about what you're saying when you say that? And to me, it's the same kind of thing with me saying, you know, I could care less what they think about me. They could care less about what they're doing. Okay? You see, and it's, what I'm wanting to say is I couldn't care less. Could not care less. Okay. Now, and you know what? Why is it a big deal? Why is it I'm not really asking a question. I already have my answer. But people who love to pick on people, they pick on stuff like that. When, in fact, they are just as bad, if not worse. Seriously. And I had said this before. The two of them, the ones that seemed like it was the same person, and more to this day, I think maybe they are sisters. Okay? Could be. Or maybe they work together. But one of them, she seems like she cannot pronounce the word throw. Okay, she doesn't throw things, she throws them. Now, her accent's pretty similar to mine, and she throws them. Now, I have heard this with news weathermen, two of them. They say throw and thu. Yeah, thu. Mainly, yeah, what they say is thu. Instead of through, it's thu to them. And I even went and researched it to see is that acceptable. And then, no, it's not. So, now I'm not picking on them. I'm not saying who it is. I'm not even giving enough information for anybody, at least I think so, to figure it out. And I've been online since 1990, and I had a pretty good idea. But the other one, and I've heard this with more than one person, too. And the other one, she's not an adult mean girl type. Okay. But, the two main ones, one of them is one I think is really a sister to the other one, and the other one is she doesn't even know him as far as I know. Not at all connected, as far as I know. But the word she, the one that's the other sister, seems she cannot pronounce are the T's, the letter T. And it's usually one or two, and of course, in the middle of a sentence. I mean, in the middle of a word. Okay, she doesn't want to pronounce them, I don't know. But she can pronounce a T, but she just doesn't want to. Yeah, okay? And the way it comes out, and I'm like, what? And it's like, the word button. It's button. I mean, and it's just, that's like fingernails on a chalkboard to me. And important, it's to her, is, button. What the crap? she leaves out the T's. And those aren't the only two words. There's several of them, but I don't remember the other ones that she did. And and like I said, these two women are were back then, I don't know, on a regular basis pointing out that the woman they picked on, the woman they didn't, they just were air quotes reviewing. They picked on her about the way she mispronounced words. Okay, I probably left something out from the back, but yeah, that was, like I said, I don't know from how long ago it was, probably before April of this year, 2023, probably April or before then, maybe last year. Shoot, I have had a lot of stuff going on, and I stopped watching him because it became so pathetic, really, to me. This is my opinion, my review of these two women and their videos, my review. And so I just stopped watching that whole genre. It just seemed to me that there was too much of that kind of thing, really, honestly. And I've seen that in other genres, online, that make videos. These women make videos. I've seen it plenty of times, even before them. And no thanks, it's just, at first I'm trying to figure out, with this one woman, the one woman they attack, or they pounce on, review, air quotes. I remember she said something that I was very curious about. And I really wondered what was the truth to it. And apparently around that same time, one of the two women, she found it, and it just kept snowballing from there. And but I'm still going back to see if I could see what it would be, that kind of thing. Finally, I just said, screw it, whatever happened, whatever it was. So what's happened since then? Well, there's one point, like I said, I just totally stopped watching all of them. Okay? And that was probably, like I said, when I had that really bad health scare. I don't think I really put out there how afraid I was that I was dying back then. I don't think I put it out there at all. I was afraid I was dying. And what I was afraid of, they would not die. I mentioned the whole thing about them not diagnosing me. All 3 times I went to the ER, and since then, still don't know the diagnosis. After all this time. But what I was afraid of was it was congestive heart failure. And I'm pretty sure it was. Because I've had 2 since then suggest that maybe it could have been. I don't know. Why don't they diagnose anymore? Oh, yeah, I remember why they don't diagnose. Like I said, I forgot. But anyway. Okay, so this stuff is nothing to me. But at one point, I think I just went back and I looked at both of them, see if they were still doing the same thing and how they were still doing it. And I don't remember when that was, how long ago it was, and I don't remember if it was the same day, but I figured out I was calling them the Shelby type. I don't know anybody named Shelby, so it's just a word name I was using. That they were calling me. That they were talking about me. Made me crack up. But one of them, they don't do videos together. I think they know one another online, but I think they're sisters anyway. Could be. Allegedly. Possibly. Perhaps. This stuff has some back, history. But, one of them, she made a comment about, there was this woman, they used some other name, I don't even know what name they used. I didn't really pay all that much attention, but she said that about, how she had mispronounced a word, or, that's the one that says through. She threw it, she went through it. And the other one with the ba'an and her impa'an. Feminism crossboard, bulletin board, females across the chalkboard. There we got it. See, I can screw up like that, so what big deal? This is what I want to say to these women. You shut up. You're not perfect. Really. You pick on somebody, but yet you do the same thing, okay? So, the other one, she did a video, and in her video, she was talking about this woman. She gave her the same name, I believe, as the other woman. The same, gave her. And it was, like I did the Shelby type. They were copycats. That's one thing I had momentarily forgotten about, is these are usually copycats. They're not that creative. And as it is, they take somebody else's videos, and they take it from there and just gossip about it, bully about it, make fun of it, do this. That's not creative to me at all. That's just being a mean girl. In my view, that's all that is. It's not review. Why would that be review when you're doing the same, you're talking about them bad, the other people, when you do the same kind of thing. But anyway, like I said, and I think I even said back then, the thing is somebody can say, well, that's what you're doing. Big difference. I don't point out their names. Period. That's all it needs. Okay? I'm not trying to get attention for that. I was just pointing out, it's watching something like this, the bullying that goes on. What do I do videos on? People who basically are toxic type people. That's very toxic. And it brings about a very toxic, the people that, I could go on. But like I said, I don't remember how long ago it was when I saw that. I'm like, wow, they were really trying, they really touched them. They could have been talking about some other woman, because, I'm not the only person who probably saw that they were hypocrites, they're doing the same thing. Okay, and who somebody should pick on them and point them out. No, I don't believe in that. I don't agree with it. And it's kind of a, what do they call it, a gray area for me? Because in person, somebody's doing something that's really wrong, okay, and hurting people. Wouldn't you warn somebody that, hey, that person's doing this and that? But it's different when it's online, and nobody knows them, and nobody knows them in person. And they don't know these other people in person. They don't know the person they're making fun of. They don't know the people who are the audience who's watching. So what are they warning? And of course, quite often in my experience, I don't know if it is this way. I'm saying all this allegedly, possibly, perhaps. I could be wrong. I could be totally wrong. But my experience in watching these kinds, didn't I mention I first got online in 1990? Okay, and a little before then. I had my first computer in 1982. But watching this kind, what is it? They're usually wanting the attention. They're wanting people to think of them as really smart. And if at all possible, maybe a little cash. or items or something sent to them somehow, some way. And sometimes what's enough for them is just the attention that they're getting. Now, I've said this before, people like histrionic people, not all of them do the same thing, but many of them that I have run across in my lifetime, my whole 60 years, I was born into it, seeing it, is that they don't care if it's negative attention or positive attention, as long as they're getting attention, and as long as they're the center of it too. Like I said, they don't all do the same thing, but some of them, yeah, they don't do it in the same way, of course, but same kind of concept. But anyway, and these women, they I think maybe, they had to counterattack, okay? Because that's not the only one. Now, the other one, I don't know whether I would classify her because, as an adult mean girl. Maybe, possibly, I don't know. She's probably around my age. And she just, I don't know what you call it. There is privacy, privacy laws even. And sometimes some people, they don't, they step over boundaries. So I talk a lot about toxic people. And these are people who, they're just social boundaries you don't step over. But they do. And she would be one of those. I guess I was using one of my accounts. I don't say my name or anything like that. I don't speak. I don't. It's just for fun. Seriously, that whole channel is just for fun. Fun stuff. Well, she decided she was going to take it upon herself to go and investigate me. Investigate that channel. Oh my gosh. Get a life. Seriously. Get a life. Okay? Now, I'm not setting out to investigate people. I'm not setting out to gossip. Do I say their names? No. But I guess, she saw that in that genre, I left some comments, and every once in a while, I'd leave comments. I go into their, live stream, just did. And said comment. Never are my comments like attacking anybody, anything, they might even be questions. I remember one time asking a question, man, somebody thought, it's like I was being so mean to ask a question. And it was not a mean question. It was, who is that person y'all talking about? Or something like that. Is it somebody that has a channel? What? Something like that. I don't know. I don't remember. It was years ago. But people can take anything, wrong online. Like in the text. But but this woman decided, she's around my age, she's going to investigate and try to figure out who I am. And put it on her channel that she was trying to do that. But she didn't say my channel name. At least she didn't do that. Yeah, that's nice. And then there was those two people at the same time for like 2 years who did the copycat thing. And I guess one thought he was reviewing me. Boy, you wouldn't believe how I reviewed him. Actually, I didn't do what I should have done, but other people did. They didn't know. Well, as far as I know, they didn't know. Yeah, but they gave the honest truth about how they felt about him, and what they said was very true, in my view too. So, but anyway, like I said, I stopped watching all that because it was just I don't know. It was too much. And I do my own kind of review. Like I said, I don't point it out who it is. And not intentionally. I mean, I'm human. I might make a mistake, but I never, as far as I know, have never, ever said a channel name. No. Yeah, but I did when I was, okay, I think that's enough. I'm getting this, it's very long. Boy, it's very long. Anyway, I just wanted to give it a little update that, yeah, but that, I don't know how long ago that was when they did that about me. But it came back up For some reason, I don't know why. I don't even remember recently. But anyway, I'm wrapping this up. It's too long.